All right. Thanks, Fernando, for taking a few minutes with us. And we're just going to go through a couple questions. I want to say congratulations. You're number 29 regional coordinator for the month of July in all of North America, and open line regional coordinator production, which is massive. Shows that you're in phase one, shows that you've got brand new stuff going on in your business. So what I want to do is first talk to you about customer acquisition. I think good place to start is just, a sentence or two on your background for the people that are watching this on YouTube that have never met you before.
Sure. I come from a lot of different types of jobs. I've done banking. I've done supervising at restaurants, and currently I'm doing. I'm a service director with an airline. So like a flight attendant, I guess you could say. Yeah, a glorified flight attendant. That's where my background is from. I have 3 kids at home. My wife. We spend as much time as we can with the kids. They have a lot of different stuff they have to do, like, soccer camp, and this winter they're starting ballet. And so we're pretty busy with the kids. My wife mostly than me, but I have to give her credit. But yeah, we're pretty busy essentially as a family.
So I'd love for you to start with kind of where your customers come from. I think everybody's different, but it's good to hear, different stories and takes on. Do you have mostly warm customers, cold market customers? Are they all from social media? Are they all from referrals? Is it a mixture? Where do you feel many of your personal customers come from?
Yeah, right off the bat, when I first started at ACN, I obviously hit the people that I know the most, that care about me the most, and those are the people that supported me and helped me pretty quick. And after that, of course, you have to make sure you seek out a little bit more. And yeah, social media helped a lot. So I put ads on different groups, Latino groups, because obviously that's my culture. And I've attracted some people, just, some quick things. I do free assessments for your bills, and without any obligation, and kind of take it from there. And then also a lot of referrals too. Yes, I have a lot of referrals, and then also a lot of follow-ups. So people that perhaps, weren't too keen on switching or trying or listening to me, I just follow up a few, months later, a year later, that I remember that I had to follow up with. And then I find that helps a lot. And then referrals is huge for sure. And yeah, and then, like I said, lots of groups on Facebook, so we can always put little ads there for free, and we can acquire more customers that way too.
So the next question I want to ask you is a little bit more about your approach. And I think, with these different groups, we'll kind of go through each one. But one of the first ones is just a warm market approach. It's where you started gathering customers in the beginning. And when you're asking somebody to be your customer that is warm market, what kind of approach? We don't need an exact script or, the exact conversation, but how would you approach somebody that's in a warm market situation?
Well, if there's trust in between the two of us, or what are two parties, I mean, I pretty well ask for a favor and straight out. I said, if you were to open a restaurant, would you like me to go eat at your place, or the next restaurant that's beside you that's offering the same stuff you're offering? Would you rather me support you or support the other person? It's an obvious answer, and I go, for the same reason I'm asking you to, support me in my business. I'm not asking you to spend any more money. I'm just saying, try my services that are exactly the same thing you're paying for anyways, which is a no-brainer, and you're supporting a friend. And that would be the warm market essentially. So kind of, it's almost, you got to treat it like a business, because it is a business. So yeah, essentially that's where you kind of grab a hold of the other person and say, take this seriously, because it's, it means a lot to me. And then obviously I let them know why I'm doing this. I mean, we all have our reasons to do what we do. So that's basically it with the warm market.
Now let's talk about, maybe people that aren't so warm, maybe people that are cold prospects, acquaintances at work. You mentioned a great word called, you said assessment. Can you mention to me, or explain to everybody how you'd approach maybe somebody that's not as warm, maybe a coworker, and how you approach them about being a customer?
Yeah, basically, we get chatting about what sort of things we do on the side, and questions get asked, and what do you do, and then I usually let them know that I'm an essential services guy, and I like to do free assessments for people to see if I could maybe potentially give you more value, or save you a little bit of money, or maybe match what you're paying for, but now you're going to support a colleague. So somewhat the same approach as a warm market, but not as strong, I guess. But it's supporting a colleague. I think most people like to support people or support a cause, and I focus on that, and that's where people kind of actually respond much better to. So yeah, that's, and I would say, send me your bill. I'll do a free assessment, no obligation. And, and if I can show you pretty clearly how much I can save you or match what you're paying, would you mind supporting me? And that's basically it. And it's just follow up for sure.
I think one important thing I want you to kind of explain to everybody too is maybe just the importance of identifying, if possible, identifying a niche or a group. You mentioned the Hispanic community, and you mentioned being able to talk to that community because of your background. I think everybody, some people may have that ability too, to speak to a certain a group or a certain background of individuals. How do you approach that group, and how would you help other people identify their niches too?
Well, for me, it's very easy in the sense that I speak Spanish. So obviously, I hit the group with Spanish. I don't write in English in the group, even though we're here in Canada and in Facebook. But there's the Spanish part helps a lot. And usually, I just I start off with, if there's a way I could keep more money in your pocket, would you be interested in looking at what I have to offer? And that's basically how I would go about it. Not too much in detail. And yeah, and that's how people start responding. And again, we communicate in Spanish. So obviously, if you're from a different culture, different race, different country, you might hit those markets in Facebook and put little ads there, just to get some sort of captivation, with people like saving money everywhere. So, or people like seeing better value in their services, or personalized service.
Yeah, especially from somebody that they know, somebody that they're familiar with, or somebody they can relate to, right? Now I want to talk about, let's say you have the customer's bill, you show them your services, they see value. I think the next step people struggle with is collecting a decision, closing, moving people towards a decision. Are there some techniques you use when you're asking somebody to make a decision?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I call them back up, say, and I'm excited. I say, hey, hey, Bill, I noticed your bill is, I could save you a little bit of money. Plus, I have the extra rewards program with our loyalty program with our company. Do you have 2 minutes? Can we get you going? And I just ask the question. Can we get you set up? Takes us 2 minutes. That's it, and then you'll be all set up. I mean, but you have to ask the question. You have to close, essentially, whether it be a warm market or a cold market, whatever. You're gonna have to ask the question and ask for the support. Obviously, it's a different question to each one, but even a cold market, it's like, or somebody that's not close to you, say, can we get you set up and start saving you money right away, or can we get you set up and start, with the loyal program that I told you about, that we can, you can still benefit from and pay the same price you're paying anyways. So
that's awesome. Now, do you feel with warm market and cold market? Do you feel with warm market, when you're collecting a decision, do you rely again a little bit more on that relationship and bring that into focus? And then, with cold market, is there anything else that I can see from what you explained in that example, using the, extra benefits with Zoom Energy, the gift cards, and using benefits like that with cold market? Do you find you're bringing different focus with different groups of individuals?
Yeah, I mean, so you have to read the customer, I guess. If some people are more focused on the rate, some people are more focused in supporting you, and also just the trust you create. Even with the cold market, you eventually make them a warm market because they get talking to you and they realize that you're not after just let's switch right away. So that you really genuinely want to check to make sure that they have the best possible value for their services. And if you find that for them and you're not pushy, which I'm not, then eventually they come to you anyways, and they send you more referrals that way, right? But I do ask the question to close them. Yes, I do ask this. I do ask for the support. I do ask that we get it done now.
Direct, and that's important. And then, I think if somebody is new and they're learning, they ask that direct approach, that direct question. You want to be my customer today? There's going to happen where there's a situation where they're going to encounter objections. Common objections, like maybe I need more information. I need to talk to a spouse. I'm busy at the moment. How do you handle objections when you've asked directly for them to be your customer, but they come up with some objections like that? What do you do?
Well, I say before I let them go, I usually, I mean, in that sense, they're not sure. There's something that we missed, I guess, on our side to make them feel comfortable. So what I usually say is, if you want to talk to your spouse, no problem. But why don't we set up a time right now for the next time that the three of us can be on a Zoom, on a Zoom call, or it's just a phone call, so we can go over everything together. But let's get it done as quick as possible, because right now you're paying too much, or whatever the reason might be behind it, right? But definitely get it set up right away. And it's all about urgency. It's all about urgency, finishing what you started, and make sure that they're happy too. Because again, you're not asking people to spend more money, you're asking people to find better value with what you have, and maybe some people will save some money with us anyway. So yeah, it's a win-win.
Follow-up's a big part of that too. Everybody follow-up's a little bit different. I'd like to some people are more digital, some people are more on paper. How do you keep track of following up? What method do you use?
I usually text. Sometimes I call, depending who it is, I guess. But yeah, with Cold Market, I find I text, or I send a message via Facebook. Say, how's it going? Did you have a chance to, if they're very hesitant, did you have a chance to talk to your wife or your husband? Can we sit down to, tonight I have a free moment between 7 and 7:30, or tomorrow morning between 8 and 8:30. So let me know what works best for you. Give them a couple options. But yeah, definitely follow up. And usually, it's not like you're out there getting hundreds of customers at a time. So, you're always working on 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 people. And then you can even have in the back of your head, knowing that you have to follow up with these people, or put yourself. I usually actually put alarm reminders on my phone. That's what, follow up with this person at this time. They said to call them at this time. So things like that. And then you kind of build from that, and, one's out, done, and then you go to the next, and, and so on and so forth.
I want to also ask you about building a team of people and the importance of that, because a part of your production in July is your recruitment and new people joining your team. You said a new gentleman joined your team. You put in over 100 customer points in 2 weeks. That's always exciting when that happens, but I think it's good to rewind back to the beginning and talk about how you met that individual, where you met them, and then how you got them interested in the business. Can you tell us that story?
Yeah, I think I was, out and about. Every time I go out and about, I always try to make an effort to talk to somebody, especially if they're in the same industry. These are people that are also selling other services and stuff like that. And we kind of got talking, and they tried to prospect me on some of their services. And I said, well, I just straight out said, look, we have a bonus this month, and it's crazy. And, this is how much, for the same thing you're doing over there, you can be doing it over here. And then he kind of took interest, and he said, I'd like to know more. And then we kind of set up an appointment. I said, if you're serious, we'll set up an appointment, and, so that way I can show you everything. And when you find the right person, they'll come after you. They'll want to know more. The right person will always want more. You can't chase people that don't want it, because then you're just going to waste your time anyways. But this person was like out there saying, I really want to know more. So it was just one of those, it's not going to happen every day, but you got to keep going every day that you go out and about, and in your life, in your day, your life in the day or whatever. You just go about and you just talk to people. So if you see somebody friendly, you say, hey, would you be open to making more money? Or, whatever it is they're doing, kind of relate to what they're doing, and then kind of go from there, kind of start up a conversation. And that's how it started with this gentleman. So, and next thing you know, they're in the team, and they're breaking records already. It's just their first 20 days in their business. It's insane.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And I think, that goes back to something happening like that. Like you'd mentioned, just being out and about, speaking to individuals, putting yourself in social situations. I'd love for you to comment on also just how often you and your family spend time together. I think that's something that's not only endearing, not only makes people want to work with you because they see that you guys have a great, loving family, but also just being out in social situations. I see your family's always either at the park or at the playground or at an event in Calgary or something like that. And then you're also posting that on social media. And, the thing I think that you do really effective, Fernando, is that when you post on social media, you're also, you're posting something about your family, but there's not a blurb about, hey, do you want to be my energy customer? But the effective thing you're doing with social media is you're in there in the ether. You're on social media. You're on people's timelines. So you're always on people's subconscious mind. And I'm not sure if you do that consciously or not, but I'd love to have you comment on that a little bit.
Well, I'm probably the worst for social media, but I love to learn more about it, because I'm not the greatest. But I do listen to some of the some of the leaders as well that are social media experts, and you know, some of the little clips that you've sent me that I've listened to that really help. And yes, I mean, as soon as I get I usually don't post a lot of on my family, not too much, because I'm not, you know, I'm not too fond of Facebook or anything like that, putting my family up there and all the crazy stuff you hear. But I do like to share once in a while when there's little events here, little events there. But yeah, I mean, and I could be posting at 2 a.m. in the morning because I can't sleep. So I don't have a specific time or anything. But yeah, so I mean, and then also accomplishments from ACN I put in there once in a while too. So I kind of mix it and match it. I'm not an expert at this stuff. I'd love to learn more and become better at it, but that's essentially what I do. Yeah, we spend a lot of time with the kids because obviously we have 3 girls. So we do go to the park. We go to soccer practice. We go to, you know, whatever events are happening in Calgary, like you mentioned. And yeah, and we go have ice cream in the hot days, go to beer garden with the kids somewhere. I don't know. We do a lot of stuff with the kids because I have a lot of time in my hands, in the sense that I'm also a guy that's on call with my job throughout the week. So it's not like they're always calling me. And then, so if I have time, and obviously I'm going to spend more time with my family.
Awesome, man. And then I'd love for maybe you to finish up the call here with any tips for people that want to gather more customers and want to succeed in ACN. You know, if you could let everybody know, give them 1 or 2 things that they could walk away with that's going to help them succeed in ACN.
Well, the one thing I've noticed, I think, from even our team, is that, you know, longevity equals credibility, right? That's huge because, you know, you want to see it through. I mean, I'm not an expert. I'm not a superstar either. You know, I'm just an ordinary person that has a dream, that you know, that takes it to heart, takes this business to heart, and I know I'm going to see it through no matter what anybody says. So I mean, that's first and foremost. And after that, you know, just gathering customers, just, you know, just talk to people consistently. Don't be pushy. Be open. Call yourself an assessment specialist, I guess you could say. That's the easiest way to take the pressure off yourself and off your, you know, of the person you're talking to. Say, just, you know, do you mind just me having a look at your bill, see if I could save you a little bit of money, or, you know, match what you have, maybe give you some better value, and that's it. But like I said, first and foremost is you're going to see it through. You're never going to give up, and it's like anything else. I mean, why would you give up on your dreams? And I mean, this is a beautiful resource or a tool that'll help us get ahead a little bit faster than our typical jobs. So that's what I love about ACN, and it's kind of it's a hope machine, because basically ACN keeps bringing on new stuff that just blows us out of our mind. And, you know, if I hadn't stuck around as 3.5 years, almost 4 years in ACN, I wouldn't see all the stuff that's happening. It's insane, you know. And it's like this guy's that guy came in out of the blue. They came at the right time, at the right place. It's like the perfect storm, and they're blowing it out of the water. And, you know, that will happen to every one of us if we see it through. That's basically the only tip I really have.
Yeah, you 100% deserve it. And, you know, your longevity has created credibility. And, you know, I think that's one thing I think everybody can take away too, is, you know, you've established yourself as, you know, essential services, you know, somebody that does assessments, essential services. Your friends know you as that individual. They know to come to you for that. So, you know, I think many times a brand new person can be a little bit nervous or scared, apprehensive. Maybe they don't want to look to their friends like they fully committed to ACN, but that really, you know, hurts you in the long run. You know, being confident, being committed, wearing, you know, and really repping the brand in a big way is, you know, a part of your success too. So congrats. I think this month, August, is going to be another record month for you, man. So I'll probably be interviewing you at the end of August again.
Great. Thank you, Dom. It's all
Okay.
all thanks to your leadership too. I mean, I got to give you credit. You and Jordana are amazing. You guys are always there to support us. So, and I know you're there for everybody. So that's amazing.